Hello lovelies, my name is Mamta and welcome to my channel GeekGlitz, in which I talk about all things geek and all things glitz. I make all sorts of videos, but mainly Harry Potter, so feel free to browse through my channel to check out some of my past videos and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. So for today, I'm going to be showing you the most expensive Harry Potter item in my collection, and it is the Montegrappa Harry Potter fountain pen. So I actually was not planning on buying this item. I kind of stumbled upon it accidentally because I was researching fountain pens, as I'd heard a lot about them and I wanted to try one out for myself. And then for fun, I Googled Harry Potter fountain pens just to see what kind of options there were out there, and I was expecting Etsy ones, like handmade ones. But then I stumbled upon this official Montegrappa Harry Potter fountain pen and I fell in love, guys. I really fell in love. So I found it in Hong Kong and I bought it, and now I'm going to show it to you so that you guys can see what it looks like. So let me start off by telling you the price of this. It retails for 370 euros on the Montegrappa website, and that definitely is a hefty price tag, and it threw me off a bit when I found out. But then I found it in Hong Kong for 2,400 Hong Kong dollars, which is the equivalent to 260 euros, so 110 euros cheaper than what was listed on in the website. So I decided to take the plunge. It's still a very hefty price tag, but I considered it as a kind of luxury or fancy Harry Potter item. And since I was already looking at fountain pens, I decided my first one would be this Harry Potter one. So I'm going to get started by first showing you this box in detail, and then I will be showing you the pen as well. And then I'm going to do a little pen test so that we could see what it's like to use a fountain pen. So this box is gorgeous. It's in a lovely shade of blue. I love the gold foiling on the top with the Hogwarts crest, and it says Harry Potter. And then there is a scattered print throughout which has the Hogwarts crest and the house animals. So I like that a lot. It looks very nice. And then the edge of the box says Montegrappa, and that Montegrappa is in gold foiling as well. This side is empty. This side says Montegrappa 2. And then this side has a little tag that describes what pen is inside. And then the back continues that print, and it's got WB and Wizarding World and the copyright details in gold foiling. So this is just the outer box cover, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up so that we could see the case inside, which actually houses the pen. So here is the gorgeous case, and it's got that same print that was on the outer box, along with the gold foiling as well. And then the edge of the box is a little bit different. So it is in blue, but it's actually the Gryffindor banner symbols with the lion, and you could see some crowns as well. And then it says Montegrappa in gold foiling. This kind of banner print goes around all the way around this box. And then the bottom of the box again looks like the outer box because it's got the WB, Wizarding World, and the copyright information all in gold foiling. So now I'm finally going to open up this box, and it opens up just like a jewelry box. It is so pretty. You can tell it's definitely a luxury item. And you get a glimpse of the gorgeous pen in there. But before I get into detail on that, I am going to talk about the inside of this box too. So let me take this pen aside and that little Ziploc too, and I'm going to show you the inside of this first. So it's got a blue velvet lining throughout this box. It says Montegrappa again in gold foiling over there. And then there's a little cushion here with a little band across it as well, so that you could tuck the pen on the inside. And then this can be lifted up and you can make out the user manual inside. So here's the user manual. It's got a Harry Potter themed cover, and the back does say user manual as well, Montegrappa. And then on the inside, it's got several languages actually, and it shows you how to use the pen and how to maintain it. So that's quite useful. I believe this is a standard user manual that comes with all of their Montegrappa fountain pens, but they have basically just changed up the cover to make it Harry Potter-ish to fit in with this theme of this pen. So now, let me finally show you this pen. This is basically the Hogwarts pen because it's got all the Hogwarts house colors and banners. So you can see the Slytherin banner, the Ravenclaw banner, the Hufflepuff, and Gryffindor. and then there's an H for Hogwarts. It's a gorgeous pen, and they do make these pens for the individual houses too. So in those cases, the barrel, this section right here, would basically just be the color of the house. So for instance, the Ravenclaw one is just covered with the Ravenclaw banner design. So here is the cap of the pen, which is also gorgeous. You can see that it's covered with the etchings of all the house animals, as well as H for Hogwarts. And then here is the clip. It's got 2 yellow lines and a little Hogwarts crest on the top. The bottom of the cap also has Harry Potter written on it on one side, and then Montegrappa on the other side. The top of the cap has a Hogwarts crest engraved with an H on it. And then here's a close look at the barrel again so you can make out all the details on the banners. It's so pretty. And then the bottom of the pen is in silver. It is made of stainless steel, as the whole pen is made of stainless steel. And it's got the markings that are similar to the markings that are found on the banner. So you could see them right here. It's the same little print that's continued over here. And then the bottom of the pen says HP. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually not an HP. That's the Montegrappa symbol, and it's across all of their pens. But I think it really looks like an HP, so it's quite apt for this pen. Alright, so I'm going to remove the cap now so that you guys can see the pen. So this part right here is called the nib. And this is the part where you would put down on paper to write. And this is available in a couple of different sizes. So there's extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and flex. I got a fine sized one, and the size determines how much ink comes to paper. So basically the thickness of whatever you write or whatever you draw. And then over here is the feed. So this is where the ink flows through, and that allows for it to come through, because there's like a little slit on the nib as well that makes it easier to write with. And this section here is actually called the section, and it's got a crisscross pattern on this pen. So I'm, like I said, pretty new to the world of fountain pens. This is my first one ever. So if there is something that I am describing wrong that you know more about, do correct me below in the comments. I've kind of just gone based off of YouTube videos and articles to find out the anatomy basically of a fountain pen and how it works. So now let me get to the good stuff and show you how this pen works. So I'm going to open up the barrel so that we can see the inside of the pen. So this part right here is called the converter, and this is where all the magic happens. So you would dip the nib and the feed inside a bottle of ink, and then you would twist this piston up so that the ink is drawn up and fills this section over here. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like because I have done that once already, but I will be doing it again. And the other option, so if you don't want to use the converter part, because when you use the converter, you need to use bottles of ink to draw them up. But you can also go with a disposable ink cartridge option. So you would remove the converter, and then you would have these ink cartridges, which you would just like put on, and this comes pre-filled with ink. And then you would just have the ink on the go so that it would just come out through the nib. So there's 2 ways you can basically use this pen. And this pen did come with 2 Montegrappa ink cartridges. So personally, I will be using the ink option more with my fountain pen rather than the disposable cartridges because you have to keep replacing them. I know you would have to keep replacing inks as well, but the thing is they would last you quite a while because you get quite a bit of quantity depending on the different sizes you get. And also there are a variety of color options available with inks and different brands as well. You can get inks that are metallic with sheens and everything. So I thought it would be fun to play around with different inks. Though I do think there are certain inks that would work with certain fountain pens. So I'm not sure how well a ink with sheen would do with this pen, especially because the nib is quite fine. So that would mean maybe some of the shimmer could get stuck or clogged in the converter from what I've seen online. So I'm going to go with a simple Faber-Castell Schwarz black ink to show you guys today with this pen for the pen test. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with ink, and I've worn gloves because look, it's already got like ink coming out of it, like the sides of the bottle. I have done this once before and I got ink all over my hands, which took forever to wipe off. So what I ended up doing was finally using like toothpaste and baking soda seemed to work for me to get the inks out, but it was a task. So I decided this time to just wear gloves while I do this. And I think with more experience, people tend to not get as much. Hope maybe. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to just try to show you what it's like. Look at that ink. Once this is dipped in, I'm going to try to avoid touching this section because that supposedly helps. So I'm going to put this in here up until the feed. And then I'm just going to twist. This has got to be twisted all the way down. And then you twist it. And you can see the ink is kind of drawing up. So I'm going to fill this about halfway, which should be more than enough ink for today's test. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this up. And you can see there's like ink on the nib now. And I'm just going to wipe it off with a paper towel a bit. Oh, look at that. So that's the way it bleeds out. You can see how it gets absorbed by the paper towel. So if you do this with a regular tissue in just your hands, it definitely goes through. So now let's move on to the writing test. I've got this little Hogwarts notebook here, and I chose this one. It's from the Wizarding World because it's got like parchment-like paper. So I thought that would look really nice with this pen. Let's try it out. So the pen writes quite smoothly, and this particular ink with this paper seems to be doing okay. There's not a lot of bleeding going on, so I think it's fine. And I'm not holding my grip too tightly as well. I'm just kind of letting it flow as I write, so that's not too painful on my fingers. And I'm just kind of enjoying this process. It's quite nice. I'm going to do a couple of drawings and doodles as well so you guys can see what it's like. And you can see that the fine point nib results in this kind of text size, which seems like a decent size. So if I wanted to journal, this would be great. You might be wondering why I'm bothering with a fountain pen at all, since it seems like quite a messy affair with the ink and everything. But I've heard it's good for your grip, like to help it. It's like better for your limbs. It's more eco-friendly because you're using bottled ink as opposed to using regular pens, which you kind of just have to throw out once you're done using. So you can hold on to one very special pen and then refill the ink. So, I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is something I wanted to try out. And I think having it be a Harry Potter fountain pen just makes it more special for me personally. So I just thought I would share this close look at this gorgeous fountain pen with you guys. So that's it for this close look at the Montegrappa Harry Potter fountain pen. And as I mentioned, they did have other pen designs available for all the other houses, as well as various nib sizes for the fountain pen. They did have this pen design available for rollerball or ballpoint pens as well, if fountain pens are not what you want. And I know this is a luxury item, so this is kind of out there. But if you did want to try out fountain pens as well, if that's piqued your interest as well, they do have cheaper options too. So I just kind of wanted to show you a close look at this item because I was really excited about it when I found a Harry Potter fountain pen. So let me know below in the comments what you guys thought of this fountain pen and this close look and review of it. And if you're into fountain pens too, let me know below because I'd love to hear more about it. I find them so fascinating. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and please subscribe to my channel GeekGlitz for more things geek and more things glitz. And make sure to hit that notification bell to be informed when my new videos are up. And feel free to connect with me on any of my social media. I've listed them down below in the description. I've got a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so come say hello as I love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, lovelies. See you in the next video. Bye!